So when I was young, I wasn't raised in a home that had any sort of faith in it. I didn't have friends that went to church. It was just God. Faith was absolutely nowhere in my life. No idea. I had heard of him, of course, but I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what holidays stood for. I thought like Christmas was for gifts and Easter was for Easter egg hunts. Zero idea. So when I was in college, I had my first real relationship, and I remember feeling like I was missing something, like something was missing in my heart. And I always thought to myself that I must not be dating the right person because there's like that void in my heart still, like something must be wrong. And so I remember breaking up with him after that long and just like continuing my search and never feeling fulfilled with any person that I met, just always having like that empty feeling in my heart. I used to love renting Redbox, and I rented a Christian one on accident, and I absolutely fell in love with the stories and the miracles, and I was bawling my eyes out the whole time. And the Holy Spirit was just moving over me, and I had no idea what it was at that time, but that was kind of like my first taste of the Word, of the Spirit, of anything like that. And Cheryl, who goes to City View, her and I crossed paths maybe 3 years ago, and we met in the gym. Her and I became best friends. We were both single at the time, so a little over a year and a half ago, she invited me to church. I remember the first service that really hit home with me was at Christmas, and Jeremiah was talking about Jesus and him being born and the meaning of Christmas, and the Holy Spirit took over me, and I was a hot mess in church. So that was the turning point for me. And I started going to my first Bible studies, and we had like a women's Bible study, and I met Sharon Semler, who was absolutely amazing. And I just fell in love with the people and the journey, and I just kept diving in more and more to the Word. And it wasn't until I grew to know the Lord and felt just fulfilled in like His comfort and like in my devotionals that I would read, that I really feel just fulfilled within my heart. So I went from feeling like I had this emptiness in my heart, trying to seek other men, dating men to fill it, to feeling completely fulfilled and happy with my relationship with God. So that's probably the biggest thing that has changed just in growing my relationship with the Lord. The other thing though is in me coming to City View and in the light that's just radiating from me, my family has seen it, and I have an older brother that struggles with addiction. He's seen it, his girlfriend has seen it, and in my journey and in my just growing my faith, they've come to know the Lord. And not all of them have been baptized yet, but my mom comes to church with me now, my niece comes to church, my older brother comes, my grandma comes to church, and I always talk about it, of course. And when my grandma and I were driving to church today, she said something about being baptized and how she had never been to a baptism and she wasn't sure how they did it. She asked if they just sprinkle water on you. And I looked at her and I said, haven't you been baptized before? Like, you have been Christian for so many years. And she said, no, I've never done it. And I looked at her and I said, what about today? Do you want to do it today? So she looked at me with big eyes, and then she got really silent, and she ended up deciding to make it happen today. So I'm very, very excited for that. And it was such an amazing experience to get to do it with her. Getting baptized, it's just like Jared said, I'm a child of God, and the getting baptized part is the yes I am. I want to share that with everybody, and I want to show the Lord that I'm committed to Him and that I am not like ashamed or anything, and I want to just share it with everybody.